Now I can do the same thing on YouTube. I feel like this title is geared much more towards the people of YouTube than the people of Twitch. Okay, can I can. Alrighty, so, I'm gonna take a bite of my breakfast, cause, yeah. So, we are starting with Solomon Isang, also known as Heavy from TF2, because he has a fucking minigun. Okay, so, this is the only one I've actually read so far. I kind of assume the other two are Burn Tremor, but it turns out that they decided to give Butterfly Man Tremor. It's not that much on the ego itself, but you'll see what I mean when we get to the passes. So it's a lot like Gregor, Unfocused Volley. When inflicting Butterfly using the skills effects, chance to flip heads, percent chance to inflict the departed. If this unit did not inflict the departed, inflict the living instead. I think that's just because this doesn't actually consume any living in the departed. So it's just chance-based infliction. Oh, it actually does. It does spend the living in the departed. But you might not actually have any if you use this ego on anybody but Solomon Isang. That's still cool. Gain clash power for every X sinking plus both butterfly on the main target. If Lobotomy Solomon Ego Isang use this skill. Gain a random assortment of Gloom plus X, the living and the departed. So that's his ammo. Obviously. And he reloads at attack end. That's all cool. Those two things basically mean the same thing, but... Okay. Inflict X random butterfly. And inflict sinking count with his first coin. And that actually goes on until his fourth coin. So all three of his first coins do that. And then his fourth coin, inflict X random butterfly, inflict sinking count, inflict gloom fragility, and gloom resist down this turn and next turn. So that will apply for this last coin here, which is a tremor sinking nuke, which is honestly a great time for gloom fragility. This is probably one of the best examples of fragility application I've ever seen, because he actually takes advantage of this with the same skill. I don't know. Spend all the living in the departed on itself. Inflict sinking, inflict tremor, inflict butterfly the living, and inflict butterfly the departed. Trigger tremor bursts, then reduce target's tremor count. Deal gloom damage equal to the sum of both butterfly and the target, and deal gloom damage equal to the living and the departed spent by this coin times X of this coin's final damage. So, the big nukes here are this one and this one. And as I will show you guys later, this one, I believe, is also a nuke. I think. I could be wrong. No, we're not here yet. No. His ego corrosion. Oh, I forgot to point out the coins. 5 unbreakable coins. Just putting that out there. He now has great Trichiliocosm and Salmament if you want a shit ton of unbreakable coins. Actually, what is the ego? It's a he ego. So I believe that means you can use Great Trichiliocosm and Solomament together. This only being a he is wild. I mean, it makes sense. I'm pretty sure Solomament is a Teth? Or I guess not Solomament, the funeral. It's interesting. So his Ego Corrosion loses 2 of the coins, but they're still unbreakable. Indiscriminate, targets randomly. That's to be expected. Gain Clash Power for every X sinking plus both Butterfly and the main target. Before attack, gain plus highest resin divided by X attack weight. And before attack, lose base power for every crack coin. So this is a really cool conditional. We're not sure how much attack weight this actually has, but it showed quite a bit. Well, I guess we do know exactly, since there's no conditionals. So let me pull up the video. Get all this out of here. Jesus Christ, that's such a big article. I'm gonna start from the beginning, actually, so I can just show the guy. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. So fixed attack weight of around 4, which is really powerful. That's very good. Unfortunately, it's unfocused volley. So, like I said, this nuke is really good against single target. If it's targeting one guy, that's really good, because he's going to get the Gloom Fragility and then nuke, and that'll probably just kill, if I'm being honest. But since it's unfocused volley, it's a little less consistent in AoE. It's fine, though. Like I said, you can always have Great Trichiliocosm using and Butterfly on the same kit. I gotta make sure I'm right about that. Wait. Uh, yeah, it's a WoW. So you can use Solomament and Great Trichiliocosm on the same ID for a similar reason. You really want Yuna? Oh, dude, Yuna looks so cool. I agree. I'm incredibly hyped for her. Lose base power for every cracked coin, inflict Butterfly the Living, inflict Butterfly the Departed, inflict Gloom Fragility and Gloom Resist down this turn and next turn. Okay, so actually, his Ego Corrosion has attack weight conditionals, and it has this, but it doesn't have Unfocused Volley. So this will be an AoE nuke for, like, everything. Inflict sinking, inflict tremor, trigger tremor burst, then reduce the target's tremor count, obviously. Deal gloom damage equal to the sum of both Butterfly on the target. Deal gloom damage equal to sinking on the target. So that's all very powerful stuff. This is a great ego. But I took a peek at the passives after I woke up, and I think that makes it even better. Because, do not go back. If target has Butterfly, gain Clash Power. So that's just free Clash Power conditionals out of the gate for every Yi-Sang. On a hit against targets that have X plus sinking plus both Butterfly, inflict Butterfly the Living and Butterfly the Departed. So, what I interpret this as is it's probably closer to 50, but I assume this will make it so... Oh, it's sinking plus both Butterfly, so maybe it's higher? I'm not sure. I was interpreting it like Scorch, but it's not like Scorch because it's not divided by 2. I assume this makes it so every thing has butterfly infliction if you put enough sinking on something, which is really strong. Like, that's really cool. This is a great passive. I love how he keeps the no space writing. Yeah. Uh, and then this stuff is only for the Solomon E saying ID. So on hit, base skills inflict tremor on target. So he's just a sinking tremor ID now. This ID counts as an ID that inflicts tremor and sinking. Tremor and sinking. So he's tremor sinking. That's really cool. Uh, a trend I've noticed is that I think Kim Ji-hoon really wants ammo IDs to have tremor. Like, that seems to be the trend here. All the new ammo IDs have had tremor. To me, butterflies didn't seem to do much, though I don't pay much attention to it. Butterflies is in the status. Butterfly is really strong against anything it applies to. I don't know why they don't actually show the effects of this. It heals SP for you, and the target takes gloom damage. If their SP is at less than 0. I don't know why they don't just show us the numbers, because the status has existed. Just kind of weird. Effect on use. What is the effect on use? Oh, just on use effects of coins. Maximum cap increased for the sum of the living and the departed. Oh, that's really cool. So his ammo cap is raised by this passive effect. Potency count. After reloading, heal SP and discard. All the ammo IDs recently have been thumbs, so it's kind of their thing. But yeah, Ujat was also Tremor, now he's saying. Yeah. So he's quad keyword now. He was just sinking before this ego. Now he is sinking tremor ammo and no. He was sinking ammo before this. Now he's sinking ammo tremor discard. Tremor discard also kind of go hand in hand. So that's neat. X base attack skills of the lowest rank in all of this unit's skill slots except Goodbye Now is Sorrow in You, which is his S3. So basically, whenever he reloads, it just gives him, or it gets him closer to his S3. I guess it doesn't give him his S3, I think. Unless I'm not sure how discard works. Turn end. If this unit had a defense skill equipped this turn, heal SP. Doesn't his defense right now take SP? So that probably just balances out, right? And when stack... Dude, what? They gave him stagger recovery? It might only be when he reloads in the ego. Oh, that could be. But that's kind of weird how that puts max cap increased here is weird. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's kind of a weird conditional thing. I don't know. But fucking stagger recovery for Solomon Ising. Why? Did he need stagger recovery? I'm not sure. Doesn't seem like it to me, but you go, girl. And then I don't think I need to run over these statuses, because all of them exist right now. Stagger recovery is wild. And it doesn't say, like, once per encounter or whatever. It says excluding force staggers. It might have that conditional when they actually drop it, but it's funny. Yeah, yeah, I know. They really love stagger cover recently. Yeah, they do. It's kind of like stagger doesn't matter anymore, but like I understood it when it was just nurse fathers. Now we're giving it to Solomon Isang, and like, hello? Does he need that? I don't think so. It's cool, it's appreciated because I think he has like more than one stagger threshold. Just why? It's so unnecessary. Okay, Unifaust. If it's only on the turn it uses the ego, that makes sense, but how are you gonna plan that ahead? That's true. But like, yeah, that's a little weird, I guess. No idea. Unifaust. Very pretty, also very awesome. Skill 1, Flash of Sunup. Skill 2, Butterfly Slash. Skill 3, Eject. Defense is Stigmatize. Skill 1-2, Seconded Offensive. Skill 3-2, Eject High Noon. Fucking Casty from Overwatch. It sounds like I'm talking through a metal water bottle. What? Wait, let me tamper with my mic. Is it really bad? No, it's just funny. Oh, it's like an after effect. After image. High noon, bro. Cassidy from Overwatch. Uh, and alt defense. Dismemberment and at high noon. I'm willing to bet this is probably an assist defense. Because it looked like she had one. Her passives are Heatproof Coat, Shanbei, which it's basically just like senior, superior, or whatever. I forgot what the word is in Japanese, but it's kind of like that. You think you understand her kit? It's a bit complicated. Oh. Fair Falter, Stigma Workshop, and the Lone Fixer. That's her support passive. That's interesting. Alrighty. Very cool. Okay. Flash of Sunup. Gain final power for every X Burn Plus Tremor on target. Gain Fire Butterfly Coffin. Did they do Solemn Lament for this swap just because it was Yuna? Butterfly Coffin? Ads? Ooh, I can wait. Oh, you always read passives and statuses first, then go skills? We could do that. That sounds smart. I'm not smart. I'm gonna eat during this ad break. Because I like just woke up. Wait, what? Alrighty, sweet. Okay, heatproof coat. Upon entering the encounter for the first time, gain Fire Butterfly Coffin. Cannot be staggered or fall below 1 HP due to burn damage. Makes sense. Take less damage from burn effects. Actually, this makes sense for self-sinking, but... Or, not self-sinking, fucking self-burn. Every self-burn ID has had this, but I don't think she's self-burn. I think it's just kind of like a burn defense thing. At less than X% HP, take even less damage from burn effects instead. Interesting. Read Fire Butterfly Coffin. Can gain up to X stacks per turn. On base skill hit, gain stack. At X plus stacks, gain burn next turn equal to half of surplus stacks past X. Oh! And then at X stacks, gain burn and burn count instead. So she is a little self-burn, but she actually does it well and gives herself resistance to it. That's cool. I think it's probably just because it gets so hot. Right? Shit. It looks basically like molten in the trailer. And then, fuck. Yeah, no doubt that shit is pure orange. If Dawn Office Fixer Sinclair is on the field, activate the following effects. Dawn Office Sinclair gains High Noon. Turn start. If Dawn Office Fixer Faust is defeated, convert High Noon on Dawn Office Fixer Sinclair into Loneliness at High Noon. Ooh. Where are these? So this is the status for Faust. But it looks like it also goes on to Sinclair. Gain min speed. On base attack skill use, gain base power and deal more damage. Apply the following effects to Sunset Blade. So, these are Sinclair's skills. Not it's only for Sinclair, but it has the Faust icon. Cool. On final coin hit, if target has X plus burn, activate burn on target, then reduce the target's burn count. Okay, so we're giving Sinclair burn activation. Apply the following effects to Blazing Strike. Deal more damage. On use, convert all coins into unbreakable coins. Okay. On hit against an enemy, activate burn on target, then reduce burn count. Burn activation and U coins. At X plus Volatile Passion, consume up to Y Scorch Field. Deal more damage based on Scorch Field consumed. Okay, what's Scorch Field? You're making me hop around here. This is mostly the same, but when this unit takes damage that brings its HP down to 0 this turn, this unit's HP cannot drop below 1 for the turn, and recovers from stagger when staggered due to the damage. Okay, so we're giving Sinclair stagger recovery and a 1-turn tank. That's great. Scorch Field. Stores all burn damage dealt in this zone. Resets when moving to a different zone. This value is shared by all characters. Is this Burn Blood Feast? Interesting. Does that count Dark Flame too? Because if this is a thing that needs to ramp, Dark Flame is definitely going to help that. Yeah, the fill-up effects from Yuna and Salvador weirdly only work when together Greg activates Scorch Field. Huh. Okay, so I was on Shonbei. Fear Falter, Stigma Workshop. Combat start when this unit has Battle Instinct, gain X Fire Butterfly Coffin. Okay. When other Dawn Office identities meet the following conditions, Dawn Office Fixer Faust uses the seconded offensive skill against the targeted enemy. Okay, so these are extra attacks that she basically uses. At base skill attack end, if the enemy that was hit is staggered, use seconded offensive against the enemy. Does not activate if the said enemy was already staggered before attack of the said skill. Okay. Use seconded offensive on the hit enemy at attack end of the following skills. Prioritizes staggered targets. Dawn Office Rep Gregor's Dawn Splitter and Crack of Dawn. Dawn Office Fixer Sinclair's Stigmatize and Blazing Strike. So basically, if either of them use their S3s, she will use her S whatever this is. 1-2, I think. It doesn't actually say it up here. That's really strange. Okay, and then if Dawn Office Fixer Sinclair's on the field, on hit using reused coins of Dawn Office Fixer Faust space skills deal additional wrath damage equal to burn on target. Counts as activating burn. Oh! Oh, that's really interesting. So she gains a damage buff from burn, doesn't actually trigger it. Like, it's not an actual trigger, it just counts as one. That's really interesting. Okay. Thought of something funny for MD. Throw it out there. House of Spiders Ryoshu team, but replace Albina and Ren for Yuna and Philip. Why would you do that? And get them killed with the special Don't Revive gift. Now you have 2 powerhouses. This support passive would actually be really good. Offense level and defense level up. Fair enough. Okay, cool. Flash of Sun Up. So she gains her Fire Butterfly Coffin for using Flash of Sun Up. Final power for every burn X target. Tremor. Clash power for every Fire Butterfly Coffin. Another ad? Really? Yeah, that's fine. I almost get paid. Okay, I'm back. Inflict burn and burn count, inflict tremor. Very good S1. Always love just straight up burn count on an S1. That's good. Maintain for longer. Especially on a Scorch unit. That's very good. Gain final power for every burn plus tremor on target. Gain Fire Butterfly Coffin. For every X Fire Butterfly Coffin, gain Clash power, reuse the final coin. Is it once? It's probably once, but that would be cool if it was more than once. For every X Fire Butterfly Coffin, inflict burn count on target and tremor count on target. Interesting. It might be like more? Mmm. Fair enough. Inflict tremor. Reuse on hit, inflict burn, and trigger tremor bursts, then reduce target's tremor count. Sundi S2. I like reuse coins. And actually, this also has reuse coins. How many reuse coins does she have? Oh, do all of her skills... Not seeing a reuse on this one. Or this one. Apply the following effects based on Fire Butterfly Coffin stack. Deal more damage for every X stack, gain final power for every X stack. Inflict tremor, inflict burn. So this is the thing she uses as like an assist attack, basically. Which is, it's a good one. That's really good, yeah. Okay. Eject at X Fire Butterfly Coffin. Activate as Eject High Noon. Gain coin power for every X burn plus tremor on target. Gain Fire Butterfly Coffin. For every X Fire Butterfly Coffin, gain Clash power. Inflict burn count on target. Inflict tremor count on target. And reuse the final coin. Inflict tremor. Trigger amplitude conversion into tremor scorch. And trigger tremor bursts and reduce the target's tremor count. And if it reuses, inflict burn. Really good looking S3. Pretty generic tremor scorch S3, but the reuse coin is neat. And it seems really cool. Okay. Eject High Noon. Oh, this is on focus volley. Okay. Deal plus burn on self, plus burn on target % damage, counted per target. Ah, makes sense. Apply the following effects on target with every hit of this skill. Inflict burn or tremor. So we're dipping into Ring Fovis territory. If target has no tremor scorch, trigger amplitude conversion into tremor scorch. Okay, so basically, if any of the targets of this have tremor, but it's not tremor scorch, it'll become tremor scorch when they get hit. Right? No, it's just on use. Really cool. On use, gain Clash power. Gain coin power and Clash power for every X burn plus tremor on the main target. Inflict burn count on all targets, and inflict tremor count on all targets. Inflict power down next turn on all targets hit. Gain battle instinct. Gain overheated coffin. 2 unbreakable coins with nothing, and then a third unbreakable coin. Reuse this coin. If this unit has battle instinct, deal plus burn potency on target divided by X% damage, and trigger tremor burst, then reduce target's tremor count. So that is really cool. As a really powerful S3 too. And mostly, not even because of the coin stuff, because only this one does the thing. It's all just because of these conditionals. These are all really good buffs to her. That's really cool. Okay, Stigmatize. Clash Bolt counter, always fun. Combat start, gain Fire Butterfly Coffin. At X Fire Butterfly coin. I think that's a typo. Activate as Dismemberment at high noon. Okay, so it's not an assist event, so I was wrong. If this unit has Overheated Coffin, the effect above does not activate. Okay. So, Overheated Coffin, she only gains it from this at attack end. And that's how she gets barred off from using this. Okay. That's basically all that does, I think. Aside from not having Coffin for any other conditionals. Gain coin power for every X burn on self. Lose burn on self. And Clash win, lose more burn on self. On hit, inflict burn. Inflict tremor. Actually, has she had coin barrier conditionals for burn on self anywhere else? Not really. So she's not really a self-burn ID. She does get self-burn, but yeah. Super move for while she's burning, or a super move that stops her self-burn. Yeah. So this has burn on self-conditionals, but overall, she's not really trying to be a self-burn ID. It just happens. Inflict burn, inflict tremor with both these coins. And dismemberment at high noon. Oh, this is like another S3-2. So is this like the same thing? Deal plus missing HP on self % damage. So that already starting off with different. Deal plus burn potency on target % damage counted per target. Apply the following effects on target with every hit of this skill. Inflict burn a tremor, amplitude conversion into tremor scorch, just like the S32. On use, gain clash power. Gain coin power and clash power for every X burn plus tremor on the main target. Inflict burn count on all targets. Inflict tremor count on all targets. And attack end, consume up to X burn on self and heal Y plus burn consumed % HP. Consume all Fire Butterfly Coffin, and gain Battle Instinct. On the third coin, reuse this coin. If this unit has Battle Instinct, deal plus burn potency on target % damage, and trigger Tremor Burst, then reduce target's tremor count. So this is basically her S3, but it has even more conditionals. So you probably want to use this instead of her skill 3-2, unless I'm wrong. Because this, in select situations, is useful. This is heal burn on self. It doesn't give you overheated coffin. It does just consume all of your fire butterfly coffin, though. Overall, these two are mostly the same. Except this one seems to be a little bit stronger. It's interesting how this makes you, like, you probably want to use Stigmatize when you have X Fire Butterfly coin. A Fire Butterfly coin. S3-2 would do more damage while the defense one is meant to heal and keep you alive. Yeah. Overall, it's kind of just like a situational choice, which is really cool. So depending on where you're at in the encounter, you'll either want to use Stigmatize or Eject High Noon. Overall, Unifaust, really cool ID, and I seriously can't wait to use her. Tremor Scorch has quickly become like my favorite thing. And this is really cool. Yeah. I want her so bad. And now we have Salvador Gregor. If you get only one ID, it better be that. Dude, I don't even want the ego. I want Dawn Office, dude. I'm gonna shard for Sinclair, because I have like 700 or so shard crates. I'm gonna get like 5 IDs from the dispenser from this wall. I don't really save Lunacy for Walt. Oh, I have like 7,000 or so that I did save, but most of my saving was for crates. I managed not to spend that much on any of the Nurse Fathers or Apprentices that I managed to pull for. I got Otis in like 20 and the Thumb Duo in like 40. So that was all very cool. Salvador, Flash of Sunup, so the same S1 as Yuna. S2, Sunset Blade. That is similar to Sinclair. What's funny is the only non-Wulp ID in my dispenser is Liu Yisang, and he will stay there because it's funny. That is funny. I would love to have all IDs. I'm not quite there yet. His S3, Dawn Splitter. This is new to Limbus. I was expecting his base skill 3 to be Crack of Dawn, but that's his skill 3-2. So Dawn Splitter, 4 coin. Defense, Guardian. S3-2, Crack of Dawn. And Defense-2, Heat Haze. I feel like there was another skill I was expecting to be up here. Maybe not. The Fixer at the Crack of Dawn. Passive Dawn Office. This is probably a buff for both Yuna and Sinclair, if I had to guess. Morgan Fair. Stigma Workshop Prosthesis. So he takes more damage from a certain Sinclair. No. I'm going to read the passives first. Upon entering the encounter for the first time, gain Light of Daybreak. Cannot be staggered or fall below 1 HP due to burn damage. Take less damage from burn effects. At less than X% HP, take minus Y% damage from burn effects instead. So this is the exact same as Unifaust, except instead of the coffin, it's Light of Daybreak. Light of Daybreak can gain up to X stack per turn, gain X burn for every Y stack, then gain plus Z burn count for every W stack. We're really getting into letters now. On hit using a base attack skill, gain X plus burn on target divided by Y stack. At X plus stack, base skills inflict plus Y more burn potency on enemies. At X plus stack, base skills inflict plus Y more burn count on enemies. So it is kind of what I figured. The Dawn Office IDs are both significantly more burn focused than any other Scorch ID. That's kind of what I was expecting. Like, they're all in on burn. And also, it seems like they both play really similarly to Nurse Fathers. They both have a resource that, when it gets to X amount, they use their S3-2. Which is just what the Nurse Fathers do. And with Faust, she's really similar to Callisto, where like she gives this status to Sinclair. You call it pseudo charge. It is pseudo charge. Yeah, that's true. They have the Nurse Fathers pseudo charge. This might just be a thing that Kim's doing, but I don't know. It's a phase. Upon entering the encounter for the first time, if there are X plus allied Dawn Office identities, which is probably 3 since it's including this unit, or maybe just 2. Could just be 2. I don't know. On the field, apply Dawn Office stack on all Dawn Office identities equal to the number of Dawn Office identities on the field. This makes me think it's probably just 2 plus, but it's kind of a weird conditional considering we only have 3 of them. And we will only get 3 of them. If Dawn Office Fixer Sinclair is on the field, activate the following effects. Dawn Office Fixer Sinclair gains from Dawnbreak to Sunset. Turn start if Dawn Office Rep Gregor is defeated, convert from Dawnbreak to Sunset on Dawn Office Fixer Sinclair into Blazing Sunset. Turn start if Dawn Office Fixer Sinclair has less than 50% HP, apply Escape Apparatus on that unit. So this is something I expected. He has a retreat mechanic now. And this is basically the same passive as Yuna as well. Except, like, without the Dawn Office conditionals. This is this part. We'll get evil Salvador boring Yuna and not a bitch Philip. Not a bitch Philip? I don't know what mirror worlds you're looking at, but I'm not sure if that's a real thing. When this unit has Dawn Herald, gain Light of Daybreak on hit using base attack skills. So this is his resource. And Dawn Herald is base skills that inflict burn potency, count, or unique burn. Unique burn, deal more damage. If the said skill is a Wrath skill, deal even more damage. Base skills that inflict burn potency, count, or unique burn gain clash power. If this unit is a Dawn Office identity, gain base power instead. Turn end, lose X stack. So, is this not exclusive to him? When this unit has Dawn Herald. I don't see where anybody else would get Dawn Herald. Scorchfield. Scorchfield. Where does Dawn Herald come from? Probably his skills. But wait. I'm just gonna... On all allies. Okay. Okay, I was confused. He doesn't have unique burn. Ooh. Unfortunate, but yeah. Ooh, ensemble Philip. Maybe. The crying bitch. When other Dawn Office identities meet the following conditions, Dawn Office Rep Gregory uses the Flash of Sunup skill against the targeted enemy. At base skill attack end, if the enemy that hit was staggered, use Flash of Sunup against said enemy. So this is basically just Faint Ermwin Solitude Ryoshu's condition, where if the enemy is staggered, she uses Bang Bang. Except now we have 3 people doing that to any staggered enemy. I'm crying. That's funny. At attack end of the following skills, use Flash of Sunup on the enemy they hit. Roma EVs, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. At attack end of the following... Yeah, I read that. Prioritizes staggered targets. Dawn Office Fixer Faust eject High Noon, and Dismemberment at High Noon. You knew it, bro? The ego's a sync ego. Is it, though? They don't... I mean, it kinda, because based off the ID, but it's not like... It's not like, the Kim one. I actually don't know what the Kim one looks like. I don't know. I can't really talk. Because it's a second ego that gives a buff to a certain identity. But yeah, we've also had, Arcana Slave. Like, we've had stuff that does that in the past. But I mean, it's kind of right. Dude, if only they hadn't already made the Magic Bullet Ego for Magic Bullet Otis, so we could get one that actually, like, buffs her. IDs that work with egos specifically, Magic Bullet and Magic Bullet. Not like Queen of Hatred. How's it not like Queen of Hatred? An always on effect. Yeah, I don't think so either. I'm gonna look this up, but I think you're right on that. It's like in the name of love and hate. I forgot what the ego is called. It's Arcana Slave or something. This is the ego, yeah. So this does have the if statement and attack end, another if statement. But this is an always on effect in the passive. One additional skill 3 use. Ha! Gotcha there. I guess it's kind of an on use. But it's persistent. She always has one additional skill 3 use. Because it's just part of the passive. Technically, it's gone if you use a different ego. Fair. Bleh. What about Magic Bullet and Magic Bullet? I forgot how they work together. It's too bad that they already made the ego, because I would love Magic Bullet Otis buffs. She's kind of lame. Like, the ID kind of sucks. In my opinion. Unfortunately. She only gets made up for by Dark Flame. That is her only redeeming quality. 2 damage for every 3 burn on target. Pretty good. 0 magic bullet, gain 1 magic bullet. Right. Raise stagger threshold. So if she got a new ego, she would probably have Tremor. It's like 3 paralyze. Gain 2 attack weight. That's all really cool. Except this kills the unit. Gain magic bullet equal to highest resin. Oh, 4 magic bullet Otis. Inflict magic bullet. Burn instead. 3 times per turn. Oh! That's cool. Love how on release they were all like oh my god, they're so good, and in a year we'll say, oh, they're shit, sorry. I don't think we'll ever say any of the Nurse Fathers are shit, and I feel like most of the ideas from this season are definitely going to hold up under scrutiny. But I also feel like Kim Ji-hoon has kind of backed himself into a power creep corner, where every new idea is just genuinely insane, because he's at a bar where, like, you can't really go down from there without people getting angry, which is unfortunate, but I I don't even know how like a Purgatorio or Paradiso would work because we're so high up on the power ladder. Like, how do we go above that? I'm not sure. I'm really interested to see how he handles this situation. If the ego does have a visual change, I really want long hair, you saying. They would have showed it, yeah. It would be cool if they gave him long hair, though. I feel like Kim is catching on to the fact that everybody loves it when he shows the sinners with long hair. They usually show everything, Roma. To be honest, the nurse daddies all needed us to use, like, higher tier allies. Yeah. Also, if you want to hear a crazy theory of mine, you know how Don and Yi Sang still need IDs this season? And I guess Sinclair, but I think he's gonna get standard fare. We're gonna get Ezra Don and Moses Yi Sang. Trust. Yeah, Ren was actually a bum. We just took him on Raw. Maybe it was pretty worth to show that Kim's ego changes stuff because nobody was using Kim ID at all. Yeah, but like, if they're gonna show something, they always show it to us. You know? Like, they don't gatekeep stuff. They just don't tell us it until the kit drops. I'm gonna mute for a sec because my dog's barking. I'll take like a sip of coffee and stuff. Sorry, not being an exception. But yeah, I don't think the ego's gonna have any sort of visual change for you saying. My grandma just showed up out of literally nowhere. Okay. But yeah, I don't think Solomon Ego is gonna have any sort of visual interaction with Yiseng because they didn't show us that. It would be cool though. And if only they could buff Magic Bullet Otis, but they can't really do that unless they give her a second Magic Bullet Ego. I mean, Ryoshu does have two red eyes. Meh, it's not happening. Unless it's a synchronization ego. Cut post till the end, but what if they just didn't want to show? Also, guys, hear me out. Ezra Dawn and Moses Heesang, because they both need IDs. They both only have one ID this season. Dude, this is like the 4th time I've tried to cope for Ezra Dawn this season. Yeah. This is the 4th time I've tried to cope. The first was just like random because they showed up in Kanto 9. The second time, I think, was Nestic Experience. Because Ezra showed up a lot in that. The third time was for this Whelp because they said Whelps may eventually include Distortion Detective characters. And they were so important to this season. And now I'm just coping because my tone definitely would have changed if we had gotten Don or Yi saying IDs for this Whelp. But we didn't, and they still need IDs. So now I'm just coping that they drop it at some point in this season. And I'm just kind of pushing Sinclair to the side because I think he's probably going to get like a standard fair ID. I don't know what for, but Ujat Sinclair? Ujat would be cool in standard fare. I feel like everybody would like that. He needs a sinking ID. Okay, back to reading the ID. Forgot about that part. Eject, High Noon, Dismemberment at High Noon, Stigmatize and Blazing Strike. He uses Flash of Sunup. If Dawn Office fixes Sinclair's on the field, on hit using extra coins added to Dawn Office Rep Gregor's base skills. Okay. Deal additional damage equal to burn on the targeted enemy. Counts as activating burn. What does he mean extra coins? Is this like a, like an, run space situation? Where it gets like a bunch of extra... Gain an extra coin. Oh, at X Light of Daybreak. Oh, I see. Okay, I'll read his kit later, but I'll keep that in mind. Counts as activating burn. Okay, that's cool. The ally who has current HP inflicts tremor on hit against enemies that have burn. If enemy has X plus burn, trigger tremor burst on final coin hit, then reduce target's tremor count. Pretty good support passive. That'll definitely be useful in, like, tremor solos. Means Greg's reuse. It doesn't even seem like a reuse, it's just free coins. Okay, I'm gonna read all of this stuff. Gain X offense level for every YS stack. Turn start at X stack, heal YSP. If all other allied identities that have Dawn Office are killed, expires. Okay, so this is a buff for just the 3 of them. He's definitely like the team leader, obviously. Even though he's really similar to Yuna in terms of his buffing, Yuna doesn't give Dawn Office, or Dawn Herald. From Dawnbreak to Sunset, so this is for Sinclair. If this unit has 3+ stagger thresholds, remove the first stagger threshold. That's crazy. Turn end, if this unit is staggered, recover from stagger. If this unit is at uptie 3... Uptie conditionals? I guess, dude, sure. Replace one of its base skills with a skill 3. Oh, okay. Interesting. So now we're literally just indirectly changing ID's kits, literally, because it's just an uptie conditional. Because S3 is unlocked uptie 3. Yeah. Fair, but yeah. Turn to start, heal SB. Passive, unstable shell of ego effects, base skill attack effects, and volatile passion effects cannot reduce this unit's SP below X. Oh. That's really interesting. Okay. End turn, start heal SP. Okay, so we're giving him SP healing. What did Unisfast do for that? It didn't do anything for that. She's mostly just damage and burn. And then, like, somatic vision and swearing melody. Yeah. So Salvador is really good for maintaining unstable Shell Viga because he gives SP healing and cannot reduce this unit's SP. I don't know what this below X could possibly be. Because when does he lose that? Dawn Office Sinclair. Unstable Shell of Ego. At 40 plus SP, consume 20 SP to enter the volatile ego wax and pinion state. Oh. Not sure. Turn start effect does not activate repeatedly. If 2 plus allies are defeated in a single turn and this unit's SP isn't at 45 at turn end, reset SP to 20, then enter the wax and pinion state. Gain volatile passion. Max SP loss 40. So that probably gets a crazy nerf, right? Because this even affects volatile passion. Base skill attack effects. They don't even consume that much SP, do they? Consume 5, lose 10, lose 30. This is probably gonna get a crazy nerf. But like, that's kind of wild. Capping his SP loss is really interesting. When in volatile ego, wax and pinion state, gain the following effects. Gain shield equal to X% of max HP. Okay, wild. When hit while this unit has shield, inflict burn against the attacker, and activate Scorch Field on this field. What does activating Scorch Field do? Not sure. Probably gets them to like -20 max, so now you don't get -40 or -45. Yeah. Which is honestly insane. Cause I don't have Philip Sinclair yet, but the fact that his like main gimmick right now is his SP management, and this just seriously helps with that, he's probably not gonna have problems anymore. This combined with like Liu Yisang, it's gonna be crazy. Greg gets his Scorch Field and the unit consumes it. Interesting. Enter. Okay, so that's when he gets this. So when Salvador dies, if he doesn't already have Wax and Pinion, he'll heal X% HP and heal SP to the max. Very crazy conditionals. I need to find my charger because my headphones are gonna die. Give me a moment. Okay, really interesting. Escape apparatus. Recover from staggering retreat. Fucking. Now he's lore accurate, sure. In chain battles, give this unit slots to a substitute unit. That's a pretty good retreat. I don't remember if other retreats look like this. What? I missed the best part of this passive? We're missing a cat. Okay. Ah, I need people to stop bothering me while I'm trying to review a guy. I did get tangent. So I did miss the best part. Oh my fucking god. Wax and Pinion is maintained even when this unit has 0 or lower SP at turn start. So once Salvador dies, Sinclair just can't leave Wax and Pinion. Jesus Christ, dude. That's crazy. Okay. Oh, that is wild. Pretty good retreat. Return the same amount of HP and SP. This unit has less than 0. Or she's at SP to 0. Eliminate all effects on self save for a select few. Interesting. And then Scorch Field, Burn Blood Beast. I don't know what activate Scorch Field means. Does that just mean start collecting burn? I think so. And then it's only useful for conditionals. Okay, now I can look at skills. Flash of Sunup, gain final power for every X burn plus tremor on target. At X plus Light of Daybreak, this skill gains an extra coin 2 as an unbreakable coin. Ooh. An extra coin 2, so basically just... It also inflicts burn. Inflict burn, inflict tremor count, inflict burn. Unfortunately not burn count. That's sad, but okay. Sunset Blade, gain final power for every X burn plus tremor on target. At X plus Light of Daybreak, gain the following effects. Extra skill 3 is an unbreakable coin, so even more burn count and tremor count. On hit using the extra coin, trigger tremor boost, then reduce the target's tremor count. Okay. Really good skill 2, actually. Is there any turn Philip tremor? Is he still pure burn? From the looks of it, he's still pure burn. I will double check through everything, but I think he's still just burn. Deal plus burn on self, plus burn on target % damage. Apply X protection on Y other random allies. Dude, that's great. That is just the Ruina page. Prioritize allies that do not have protection. Among them, prioritize Dawn Office allies. At X plus Light of Daybreak, activate Crack of Dawn instead. Gain coin power for every X burn plus tremor on target. At X plus Light of Daybreak, gain the following effects. Gain final power, convert all the coins on this skill into unbreakable coins. On the final coin hit, activate burn on target, then reduce target's burn count. Apply Dawn Herald on all allies next turn. And at X Light of Daybreak, apply Y additional Dawn Herald. Dawn Herald, I think that was a really strong status, right? Deal more damage. Deal even more damage. Gain Clash Power. And if they're Dawn of it... Isn't that worse? Why do they get a nerf? Gain Base Power instead. Oh no, wait, no. Base Power is good. Because that's even and unopposed, I think. I always get confused with the powers. There's so many powers. Base power, final power, clash power, coin power. Blech. Defense power. Attack power. Okay, so base power. So that is just a buff to every burn ID ever. Inflict burn, inflict tremor, inflict burn, inflict tremor. Oh, well, these are count. Trigger amplitude conversion into tremor scorch. Trigger tremor burst, then reduce target's tremor count. Like, I don't know what the hell is final power. I think the only thing final power really affects is damage. Because I've noticed that, barring resistances, if if the ID and the enemy are the exact same level and there are no damage conditionals, the number rolled by the coin will directly reflect in the damage. So with 1.0 resistances at the same level with no damage conditionals, an 11 will deal 11 damage. And I think final power just ends up affecting the last number after the last coin. That's what I think. And that just affects damage. So like, if all of these rolled 11, which is really... well, if this total rolled an 11, the final power would put like 1 or 2 and put 12. That's really bad rolling, but basically it would deal 12 damage at this final coin. That's what I think final power is. I don't know. And that was a really bad unrealistic example because he's probably rolled like, God, 30? This probably rolls at 30. I don't know. Maybe this is like a 27 or something. Tremor Scorch, Tremor Burst, makes sense. Crack of Dawn. Deal more damage for every X excess attack weight beyond the number of actual targets. Okay. So since I'm not seeing attack power conditionals, and this supposedly doesn't have attack power, I think Dawn Splitter is single target. I'm gonna look at the trailer to probably get an idea of this. When does he start? So this is probably Dawn Splitter. Targeting one fairy thing. And then this is Dawn Splitter again. And then Unifast will jump in. And then since they were staggered, he uses his thing. And now this is Crack of Dawn. No. Okay, so that's his retreat. Can you show us Crack of Dawn? There's only 3 things here. This is kind of a bad show of what the attack weight could be. This is not Crack of Dawn. Wait, that was probably his defense thing. This might also be his defense thing. I don't know. Where was Crack of Dawn? Does Crack of Dawn not have, like, the glint thing? That might be Dawn Splitter exclusive. So... I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what this attack weight could be. Apply protection on X other random allies. Makes sense. From the Arena page, at X plus burn, gain clash power. Gain coin power for burn plus tremor on the main target. Activate the following effects. Apply Dawn Herald next turn on all allies. Consume up to X burn on self and heal Y plus burn consumed percent HP. Consume all Light of Daybreak on self. Okay, so this consumes Light of Daybreak. But he doesn't have, like, a downtime state like Unifast. Like, he doesn't overheat. He just consumes all of this with his S3-2. And probably his defense. Or no, because he has assist defense. Oh, he's moused. Upon using his defense, he gains assist defense. There was a normal glint thing. Burn count, tremor, burn, tremor scorch, reduce tremor count. Oh, this consumes double burn count. So you're gonna want to be careful when using this, because you could just drop your burn stack. Because this is a full 2 count. He doesn't gain any sort of extra coin. I think that's a cool gimmick. I like the gain extra coin. Gain assist defense, so he's moused. At X plus Light of Daybreak, activate Crack of Dawn instead. Really? Okay. Gain Light of Daybreak. Gain final power for every burn plus tremor on the target. Lose burn count, lose burn potency. Inflict burn, inflict tremor, inflict burn count. Not a bad counter. Heat haze. So this will be when he uses assist defense. Gain Light of Daybreak, gain protection, gain coin power for every X burn plus tremor on target. At X plus Light of Daybreak, or if this unit used Crack of Dawn skill this turn, convert all coins in this skill into unbreakable coins. Inflict burn, inflict tremor. That is kind of busted. I don't think he actually gains that. Oh, he might just be moused. He might just be tremor burn moused. Yeah. Oh, jeez, dude. He is probably just tremor burn moused. Because he gains Light of Daybreak whenever he uses this. And he gains Light of Daybreak when he uses assist defense as well. So it's probably his defense is probably just the Light of Daybreak factory, so he can spam S3-2. Except unlike Moused, he doesn't just get to use it repeatedly, so it's really similar, it's just not the same. Thankfully, we'll probably never get something like that again. There's gonna be 2 new ego gifts? Oh, I'll read the patch notes after this. Salvador Gregor seems really good. I'm a huge fan of him. I'm really interested to see what Scorchfield does, because I'm not entirely sure. There hasn't been much of elaboration on what that does. This consumes it. For Sinclair, he can consume it. But I do need to check. Sinclair is still pure burn, I think. So Yuna's gimmick seems really interesting. Wait, if he gains assist events, can he just proc it on himself if it's a solo? That's true. I think so. I think he probably can. It seems like he can. So really, I think the only one who uses Scorchfield for now is Sinclair. It doesn't seem like Yuna or Gregor actually use Scorchfield for themselves. It's just for Sinclair when he consumes Scorchfield and deals more damage from High Noon and Lonely's High Noon. The fact it's just a general... Oh, shit, dude. Wait, what? Okay. Now that I'm done reading the IDs and the ego, my thoughts are really good, and I really want to pull these, but I only have, like, 70 pulls, so I'm not exceptionally hopeful. I'm just praying, dude. If I don't get them, I'll shard them next wall. That's just gonna be a huge bummer. Okay. The patch notes. You have 110 pull. If I can do the Railway 6, I haven't beat that yet, so I could get another guaranteed 3-star ticket. Blah 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 blah. New target extraction with all 3 of these. Bina announcer, that makes sense. Except we got an ego from Yasad's floor. I don't know, dude. All well-purchased Knock 9 stuff. Target extraction, 4th and 5th. Botgak, Solomant Gregor, Magic Bullet Otis, Red Eyes and Penitence, Solomant Isang. Blah. Okay. All Whelp IDs will be extractable. New packages. New content. Okay, new ego gifts. With the July 9th scheduled update, 2 new theme pack exclusive ego gifts. Will be added to the game. These new ego gifts do not have separate choice events and can be attained via ego gift search, the shop function, fusion, and node clear reward. Yeah, it's probably for, well, purchase 9 theme pack. There's probably going to be a new theme pack for the Whelp 9. Roma. Fix for an issue where it can gain up to N per turn effects were applied differently than intended in certain situations. Dayui Star's Blade. The unit has 67 stacks of Dayui Star's Blade. The unit attempts to gain 20 Dayui Star's Blade by using the Slay the Heavens Tiantia skill. Gaining any more would exceed its max cap. The unit gains 50 stacks of Dayui Star's Blade by using Rend Space Echo Shear. 15. Huh. I don't really understand. But usually Whelp-based theme packs are from the Whelps that had a battle. Whelp 7 didn't get a theme pack, though. This one will probably have a theme pack, right? I mean, they actually, they didn't say anything, but it might be in a different thing. Dude, patching Unbrilliant Glory. Dude. Ah. I kind of hate the, Arknights egos. It's very annoying that they will never come back. I'm annoyed that I didn't try to get them, but the fuck they doing to my Tremorist ego? Probably not a new pack. Probably not a new pack, really. Void that cannot be filled. Living of the Departed. Inflict additional sinking. Improved his visual effects so that a separate reload animation plays when reloading with a defense skill. Huh. Maybe bonus gifts for an extreme pack? Could be. And then maintenance compensation. New event, the ninth Walpurgis Night. Extraction rate changes. All Whelp stuff shows up. Target extraction. Bina announcer, supplement. Dawn office. Cool. Increase extraction rates. IDs and ego. Oh, man. All current and previous Whelp announcers. Bina announcer. Affected extractions. E-Song exchange. Dispenser. Dispense everything. What is this UI? Wait, they blur out a part of their UI. Do they always do that? I don't know. Oh, it's probably just to hide like the user ID and the lunacy levels. 11 hate. Yeah, just show everything. Encephalon spending event. Fixer at dawn break. Every Encephalon spent. Event progression. Free polls. Oh yeah, I remember this. I understand them censoring UID. But why everything else? You can only imagine what level they are, how much lunacy they have, what their Encephalon cap is. It's a dev account, so they probably have like so much shit. They would say if there were new packs. Yeah, since it's an Encephalon spending event, I guess there's not a actual thing. Oh, dude. It's a dev account. We don't give a shit about having 999 lunacy 999. Yeah. But they probably just don't want to show everybody that. Because it'd be a little unfair. Oh, I should have saved my, like, stuff from Refraction Railway. I didn't realize it was going to be an Encephalon spending event, so I didn't bother waiting. He hopped on his dev account on streams, though? True. It could just be somebody else's thing, though. I'm gonna end the YouTube stream and then get all my stuff situation. The YouTube stream back up. I just wanted to